Good afternoon. How we doing? So just to start this off, I can't feel my face. I've been to the dentist and I have always had this crippling fear of the dentist. So I'm trying to do things in blocks. It was awful, terrible. Anyway, so I'm finding it a little bit hard to talk. I find it hard to talk at the best of times, don't I? But I didn't want that to get in the way of me making content. So, you know, if my face is not moving, it's like I look like I've got a proper resting bitch face. But I'm actually very happy. It's just I can't smile. Anyway, so I thought, right, I've had another 2 messages and somebody came to mind, and the idea of karma seems to be unsettling people at the moment for some reason. And I'm not 100% sure why, because it's always been there and it always will be there. But it's a perspective thing. It's not necessarily like it's a concept, okay? And we can have different concepts and we can have different perspectives on things, right? So with the idea of karma, I believe it dates all the way back to ancient India. And in the ancient Vedic texts, which is basically very, very, very old scripture. It was between, I believe, 1500 and 1000 BCE. That's a long ass time ago, isn't it? Now, I'm having to take my memory way back when I learned about all this stuff. But I do believe that it evolved through religions, a bit like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. And actually, it was really to create a moral law system, a system of cause and effect, because that's initially what it is. It's cause and effect. Now, when you look at it from a bit of an outer perspective, right, what you have to remember is sometimes we end up having to do things that we don't want to do, but we know we have to do, right? And with that, with having to sacrifice, you gain, okay? That's also a way of cause and effect. The thing is, the way that I see it, and, I've learned the hard way, which is the only reason why and how I know all of this stuff. And the thing is, it doesn't matter who sees things, whether it's done in private, it doesn't matter. Source is able to see everything. Nothing is technically hidden, ever. Now, I don't say that to unsettle anybody. I'm saying it because it's realistic. Do you know what I mean? That's how it goes. Now, everybody, right, in their lives, everyone will come into a situation. I've got to put my glasses on, my eyes are so bad. Will come into a situation where maybe they retaliate, okay? Maybe somebody has really, really wound you up, right? And has kept poking you, and then you've ended up retaliating quite badly, yeah? Now, because of that, what that then does, it's the boomerang effect. So in essence, then what will happen is then you will be put in a situation where somebody really retaliates at you. Or it could be something that'll make you think, I need to do that differently next time. Yeah? It's a way to learn. It's not like you can't be golden all the time. Do you know what I mean? We've all got light and dark in us. And it's all about balancing that out. And sometimes, we can be put in predicaments that maybe do make you feel quite unsettled. But as we get older, we learn one of the strongest ways to retaliate to someone is silence. If you really, really want to make a point to someone and you want them to almost know how you feel and be left, I guess, in some form of fear, is by doing nothing. Honestly, I swear to God, nothing. And you know what? That way, the point is very, very evidently there. And also, it means that there's no karmic response to that. I'll give you another scenario, okay? So, say, for instance, you end up having feelings for somebody who is married and you're unattached, okay? So you're single, this person's married. You then go and have a full-blown affair. Now, that can either completely and utterly blow up in your face because it's wrong. You know, there's means and ways around things in it. Do you know what I mean? So it will either blow up in your face and you'll get caught out, and then you will have to sort of deal with the trials and tribulations of that. Or you will then, in your next relationship, have the same thing happen to you, right? Which, in my opinion, rightfully deserved. Yeah? So if you don't want to experience anything like that, then really you've got no other choice than to remain true to yourself and remain honest. You know? It's like if you go and lie about something, the universe is going to make sure that you are sort of proven to be that liar. Yeah? So if, in a way, if you go to respond badly, if you go to lie about something, if you go to be deceitful, always keep in your brain, if I do that, I'm going to have that back tenfold, right? I know people say about the threes. I'm not entirely sure where that concept has come from, but you have to put your big girl pants on, your big boy pants on, and you have to act more honourable. You know, show loyalty, be honest, and even everyone. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people hate the truth. But I would rather people have a problem with me for being honest than have a load of karma shoved at me because I know I've done wrong. Do you get what I mean? And this is where it is a very simple concept, but people overcomplicate it big time. But if you know you're doing wrong and you are happy to accept whatever consequence is going to be from that, then you go on your merry way and do that. It's free will. This is why we have free will, because we have all these different paths to go down, but it's up to us to work out which path is the correct path, right? And we can only decide that. But the problem is, what might be correct to you might not be correct to somebody else. And, you know, I often remind people, just remember cause and effect. I prefer kind of calling it that, because I feel like I say, the whole idea of karma gets really, really like overcomplicated. Just all you have to do is just remember, stay true, be honest, and still have fun, but do it in an honourable way. That's it. That's all you have to do. And if you have done something wrong, you just take accountability and deal with the consequences. Do you know what I mean? So I just wanted to give you a little bit of info on that anyway. But love you guys.